Let's talk about enduring issues. So our aim for today is what is an enduring issue and how does it help us to think like a historian? So below are 3 documents. Examine them and determine a theme or a central idea or topic that you see throughout all 3. Going on to I want you to fill out the Padlet and record your answer. Now, what is this a picture of? You might recognize this right away. If you do, that's awesome. If you don't worry. We're going to talk about why this picture is part of a larger picture, and thinking about a small part of a larger picture helps us to think like a historian. Now, can you see where that small part of the larger picture comes into play? That small part of the larger picture came from the nose of our good friend Mona Lisa. So thinking of the small part of the larger picture helps us to think about historical context. What about this picture? Who do you think is the good guy and who do you think is the bad guy? Take a second, write down your answer in the Padlet. It's okay if you don't get this right off the bat. It is a tricky picture to look at. Now you might be saying this gentleman in the plaid shirt is the good guy, and this gentleman holding the gun is the bad guy. However, this picture taken during the Vietnam War is actually the opposite. The soldier from the Vietnamese army, is the good guy. And this guy is from the Viet Cong. He's the bad guy. So this leads us to historical context. When we think about context, we need to think about, again, the whole picture, which includes the situation and the background of that picture, the what or the who, and the context. So the context is a sophisticated way of saying what's happening at a given period of time, and without this important background information, historical events are isolated and unimportant. Why is this context important? So some of you might have seen the SpongeBob episode, and just taking a look at it makes it look like Pearl, the whale, is being attacked by a vicious crab. However, if you have seen this episode of SpongeBob, you'll know that Pearl is actually Mr. Krabs' daughter, and Mr. Krabs was bobbing for apples and choked on an apple, and he's trying to get Pearl's attention for help. Let's see if this works. The video doesn't work. That's okay. I will post the video in Google Classroom. Now, answer this check-in on the Google Forms provided. Which of the following best describes context? A, a definition of a historical artifact. B, a way to determine whether sources are primary or secondary. Or C, the background information that provides a deeper understanding of primary and secondary sources. Now that we understand historical context, what is historical context? It's basically what was happening at the time the source we are examining was made, and any important events that might have led up to what was happening. So if we take a look at this image, an example of historical context, what is the historical context of this Aztec double-headed serpent? I want you to pick one and answer on the Padlet. Is this a work of art with a snake with 2 heads that's covered in beautiful turquoise tiles? Or is it B, during the height of Aztec civilization, stability was kept by a strong social class structure led by powerful religious leaders and kings, resulting in the creation of various works of art, such as this turquoise serpent. Now we see our 3 images from our Do Now. Document 1 is the Japanese painting titled Wave off of Kanagawa. Document 2 is Claude Monet's painting of a lake from the late 1800s. And document 3 is West African sculpture of an elephant. All 3 of these paintings have something in common. You have a wave, you have a lake, and you have an animal. They all involve nature. So when we talk about context, it's important to look at the whole picture and then look at the parts of the picture. So if we're looking at the whole picture of what these 3 things have in common, you look at the parts of the picture of each. So you look at the wave, you look at the lake, you look at the elephant, and the whole picture has in common that they are all part of nature. We're going to stop here for today. Tomorrow we will talk about each of the enduring issues and why having context is important to talk about the importance of context in each enduring issue. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.